Hello, welcome to another video review by the Talking Apple. We are Talking Apple on iTunes. Talking Apple podcast is the podcast to download for all the Apple news with a UK focus. So today we're going to have a look at some hidden features or some little features you might not have noticed about iOS 5 on the iPad and on the iPhone. So first of all, just a little demo on the iPad, the Mail application. Now, this is something that's just on the iPad. Now it allows you to bring up your mailbox when you're in a message by swiping to the side like that to bring up all your previous messages, and just swipe again to get rid of it. So just a little point for the iPad there, something on the Mail app, which is quite good. So going over to the iPhone, the first thing would be good to mention is on the iPhone, there's a lot that has changed, but starting off in iTunes, for example, if you was downloading a podcast, ours would be the podcast to download. So Talking Apple podcast here, you used to be able to download it, and it dropped down to the bottom, and then you have to wait for it to download. But now if I go straight into the music app, on my podcast, as you can see, number 92, Talking Apple podcast is downloading, and like it shows on the iTunes store, if it's perhaps playing a preview, there's a little circle with a stop button in the middle. So now that'll download as we're waiting, and as it's downloading, you can actually listen to it as well. So if I click it, we could listen to it. And if you realize you don't want that for some reason, maybe you've listened to it 5 times already, you can just stop it and it'll go. So that's something new with the podcasts. Another little thing in the music app as well. This is not just on podcasts, but it works with all the music tracks. If you hold down your finger on a track, it brings up underneath the title. So obviously here it's just got tribute to Steve, and then it runs out of space, but it'll load up all the information. On music tracks is the same. Some music tracks are too big to fit on. So that's a nice little feature as well. If we look as well to some of the songs, perhaps now, because iOS 5 is supposed to be PC free, there's now more managing of different tracks, so you can delete songs as well while you're here. So that's something else for the music app. Looking at the calendar as well, not a lot has changed here, but if we turn it into landscape, it's something we couldn't do before, and I believe there's a year view, or month view rather, in landscape on the iPad. But here, this is a new feature, so there's now the week view, I guess you call it, and it allows you to add in events. If I hold my finger down, we can add a new event, stick it wherever. And as well, this one we've got in here, podcasting today, if I hold that down, if I can, we can change the date, and also these, it's not too easy to access, but if we see there's the 2 little bubbles on either side, you can actually pull it down and change the length of the event as well on the calendar view. So that's something that's quite nice as well. If I just lock it, the camera is now quickly accessible for those times when you want to take a shot really quick from the lock screen, which is just open that up and allows you to take a picture very quickly on this phone. Another feature as well, to swipe to the side, brings up all the pictures you've just taken. So that's the picture I just took. And because we started from the lock screen, it only shows the pictures you've taken, just in case you've got a pass protected iPhone. So obviously you can delete these or go back to the camera roll. And if I didn't have a lock screen, you'd be able to access all the camera roll photos from that screen as well. So while we're talking about that, if I just go on to the camera roll perhaps, like we said before, it now allows you to edit a lot more, and you can, when you press edit, now you actually have the chance to add a photo album. So again, PC free allows you to do add photo albums straight into your photos as well. So that's something else. The notifications tray is something that's new for iOS 5 as well. As you can see, there's different events. The podcasting event there that's been updated is showing. It shows the next 24 hours worth of calendar entries, which is quite a nice touch. Obviously the stocks there, and the weather, if you swipe the weather to the side, it shows the next 6 days of the weather as well. And another feature with the weather is tap on it and it gives you the next 12 hours in an hourly update as well on the weathers. So that's pretty good. If just going to the web browser now, take this website for example, if it was to zoom in, not particularly demonstrating the web browser here, but a feature that's throughout iOS 5. If you hold down, or if I just double tap that and hold that down, it brings up define. So there's now a dictionary throughout, which brings up wherever you are definitions of words, which is quite a handy feature. Sure can be used quite a bit. So some of the changes as well come in the settings. If you go into sounds, for example, before the ringtones you had were available as ringtones, but not as tones. But now any ringtones you put on, I believe M4R files, now are available as text tones or voicemail tones or anything. They all the new tones appear right there. So that's something that's new, which is good. So you can have text tones that are customized as well. So something that you may have missed as well. While we're on the settings menu, we go into keyboards. There's now the option to create a shortcut. So the keyboard has shortcuts. So for example, if I type in my name here, we could have the shortcut as AD, for example. If we just save that. Now if I was to open up the messages application, so here I'm already talking to myself, and this is Marlon's phone. So if I said hello, instead of writing Alex Dunlop, if I write AD and press space, it'll insert the shortcut, and you can do that for as much as you want with different shortcuts and different words. So that's quite a handy feature as well. And another thing in the text messages app, if you ever want to look at long texts or just see a few texts in the conversation, it got quite annoying. You maybe have to press edit to look at different ones before. But now if you just hold it down like you would swipe it along, you now at the bottom you can just swipe it out of the way. So it brings the keyboard down and gets it out of the way, which was something that you weren't able to do before. So that was quite good. A big feature of iOS 5 is obviously Siri, and we're not going to demo that now. We've already got a video that does demo some of the features, but there is, I'm in the wrong place here. There is a option as well. We've set up a contact here called Joseph Flamboyant, and if sometimes you call contacts, perhaps it doesn't quite get the name. It gives you the option now here to add in phonetic names, and there is a slight little bug here. If you add field, it has first and last name here, which actually means phonetic first and last name, because obviously, as you can see, the first and last name is already there. But if you add perhaps this here, can't think what I tried before, but it seemed to work. Let's try keyboard. So if I type that in, so that's completely different from obviously Joseph or Flamboyant. And now if I was to speak to it, call keyboard. I don't see keyboard in your... No, that's not what I actually said. Call keyboard. Call him Joseph Flamboyant. Okay, there you go. So that sort of worked, didn't it, the second time around? So there you go. I didn't obviously say Joseph Flamboyant. I said keyboard, and it calls them. So if someone did have a funny name, perhaps something that's not in its vocabulary, it might be a foreign name perhaps, you can set up just a regular word that it would recognize, and you can call them that way. So that's pretty cool. Another little feature of Siri is the search engine for the web. Obviously, if you said to search the web for Talking Apple. Searching for Talking Apple. It would launch the Google or your default browser there with Talking Apple. But if you wanted a different search engine, search Bing for Talking Apple. Searching the web for Talking Apple. It still searches the web, but it does it through, as you can see, Bing. Bing.com. So it works as well for Yahoo, the search engines that it supports. So you can, if you set a different search engine, it would use that obviously. So that's something that's pretty handy as well to know. So that's a few of the tips of iOS 5. Some new little features. I'm sure there's many more out there. If you do have any yourself, perhaps you can email them to us at feedback@talkingapple.co.uk. Make sure you download the podcast. It's on iTunes every week. Thanks for listening once again. Goodbye.